Well, all right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Instructional Policy Meeting this February 6th of 2003. This evening, we're going to have a presentation, I'm sure, and we will turn it over to Dr. Cavers.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to pull up our agenda so you can go along on the screen. So the first item on our agenda is the review of the minutes from our last meeting, which happens to be in October. And at that meeting, we had a presentation on CCAA, which we will also have a presentation on CCAA again today. We have quite a few changes and things that are going on in our college and career academy. So we will have a presentation from Director Marcy Ebright. Again, if you want to review the minutes, they are in the board agenda for you to review. A few discussion topics today. First, I just want to go over some items that you're going to see on the board agenda on Monday and bring those to your attention. First, we have a grant from the City of Akron in the amount of $185,000 that is to be utilized in our Akron After School programming. So you will see that on the agenda coming up. And another item that you'll see is the announcement of our name partner, Signet Jewelers. We did the official ceremony about a week ago, but that will be on the board agenda for this upcoming Monday as well for your vote. So just wanted to go over those two items. I'll take any questions about the agenda items at this time. If not, we will turn it over to Director Ebright for her presentation. First, are there any questions?
The partnership, the partnership between Signet and the district. What is that? Is that a partnership of, I'm trying to read, employment or high school?
It's with North High School, and it is the final named Academy partner. So they are the Signet Jeweler Design Academy of North High School now. So there's Pathway Partners, where they may have several partners inside a Pathway. When you become a named Academy partner, you've taken on a greater responsibility to all the pathways inside of there, namely a commitment of time and talent of 2,000 hours over the next 3 years.
Right, which I understand that part, but so are students then going to be able to partner with Signet to become master jewelers? Do they learn like craftsmanship in jewelry? Do they learn class cut and clarity?
That may certainly be part of it. It may also be, they have aligned like HVAC as part of that pathway as well, but they've aligned their HVAC engineers who work their stores and manage their stores with those pathways. So other careers, they're aligned. They found a match in everything in that academy and all of its pathways to the work that Signet has with them.
Perfect. That's what I was
Yes,
asking.
correct.
Yes. Okay, perfect.
Thank you. And actually with that, we are going to go ahead and I'm going to click off and allow Marcy to take over for the presentation.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Caver. I think last time I was here, we just kind of gave an update around the systems and structures of what was going on in the College and Career Academy department itself and how those were addressing equity issues and the instructional needs of our scholars across the district with some of that structuring. So tonight, we're going to revisit some of the impact that we've been having this first semester, in particular around how we're building up student agency and voice. But I wanted to re-share with you our mission of College and Career Academies, ensuring that we're giving all students confidence in their future, sense of belonging, looking at those common interests and shared experiences in a supportive environment. So when I talk about student agency, this is the definition that we've been sharing, and it's one of those laser areas of focus is really about putting that voice to students and choice in what they're learning. And I think everything that you know around College and Career Academies really reflects that opportunity for students to develop that sense of agency and choice in how they learn. So it's been a focus of ours. The Carnegie Foundation has been helping us with sort of those meaningful pieces around student agency and really pushing on us as we looked into our priorities around what what this focus on student agency means. So I put it against this background of this star because, if we don't, it's sort of we heard North Star a lot, but we do believe that if students are really invested in their learning, initiated, feeling like it's part of where they have a voice and choice in things, that everything else can help rally behind that, right? So I'm going to start sort of on the journey of what's going on between elementary, middle, and high school as we talk about student agency and how we're working to build that scholar choice and voice. So thinking about in our elementary schools right now, even though we're not official college and career academies, our elementary buildings have just jumped on. They can't wait for that official announcement and endorsement. They have started ambassador programs in our elementary schools. We've been using Zello as that career exploration tool at a grade level appropriate sort of gamification and exploration of careers and things that you like to do and your aptitudes and how they lend them to different types of experiences. We've had the essential experiences. We're now in our 4th year of the essential experiences. We have expanded our out-of-school time programming with lots of choices and enrichment for students. And we're, of course, going to bring back summer experiences for those year-round opportunities where students can connect to their community, learn in new ways, and express all those portrait of an elementary scholar competencies and practices that they get to have. So talking about Zello, it's probably been a while since you may have had a formal presentation on this, but just to remind you, at the K2 area, it's this idea of looking at different clusters of types of jobs. Like there's helping jobs and nature jobs and health jobs. And they get a character where they get to explore a town and earn badges and learn about those different types of exploration into careers. They get little clues to solve a mystery. So very gamified, age-appropriate for your K-1-2 students to start to explore that sense of self. In our upper elementary, they get a little bit more sophisticated where they get to start really thinking about what their personal interests are, what subjects they have. They can start to list out things that they like to do, start to connect those to types of careers and clusters again. We really want kids in elementary, our scholars in elementary, to leave into their middle school experience feeling like they have a connection to what jobs kind of get sorted by things that I like and have interest in, right? That they have that concept firmly in their grasp. They also get to complete missions throughout it, so it does still have that gamification feel to it that the kids enjoy doing. In our elementary schools, we know we have our essential experiences that happen pre-K through 5th grade. We officially have essential experiences this year in all grade levels. Those are those robust, guaranteed experiences that every single student participates in. We have sent almost over 6,000 students now have gone out on their experiences this year, and we are on target for 100% of the elementary students to participate. So we're really excited about that. The partners through the GAR Foundation who help us work with these organizations to create a high-quality, grade-level appropriate academic and enrichment experience for the students. Also give them chances to hear about careers at the various organizations, and all of them give the kids opportunities while on the experiences before and after to participate in portraits of the elementary scholar competencies. We're really excited, and this is hot off the press, just as of February 1st, the National School Board Association. We submitted back, I think, in November for this award. So we will be featured in the American School Board Association Journal this April with the Essential Experiences. We are one of 3 Silver Magna Award winners for the Essential Experiences as a model, a national model of how teaching and learning is done in this type of transformative experience for students. So we'll have more details coming out about that, but there will be a national reception. It'll be big news. Our kids will get featured in their magazine and all over the country, so school boards will get to see what we're doing with us. It's pretty neat. We've also expanded the out-of-school time expansion, so lots of opportunity here. Akron After School, which you've heard a lot about, traditionally worked in K through 3 grades. This year, we expanded it to 4, 5, and 6th graders in the East Cluster. And every single elementary school now has a K through 5 or 6 Akron After School program happening. So those teachers are working with students after school on enrichments, ELA, math, and assisting students with daytime work that they may have, as well as giving them enriching opportunities. I think we have 4 schools, don't ask me the name off the top of my head, that are also running programming before the school day starts. And also we're continuing through the summer. All of these things give kids lots of choices and opportunities to engage with the community, different partners, different experiences, whether it's arts, music, theater, dance, and so on. So coming out of the elementary schools into our middle school academies, we're working at really still continuing that student voice and choice, and a lot of focus here on our middle school years, because this is a great opportunity for students' growth in this area. So, we're in year 2 of our 6th grade academy, in year 1 of our 7th grade academy, and we have been launching our inquiry challenges and continuing all of our guaranteed experiences with our nonprofit discovery and our nonprofit exploration. So come next year, we'll have full wall-to-wall, bringing on the 8th grade into the academy model. And we've also paid close attention here to our transcend data in our middle schools, and I'm going to show you some of that student voice and choice and how they're reacting to that right now. We know at this grade level that we want students to be agents of their own learning, opportunities to deepen their learning by solving authentic problems. That's where those inquiry pieces come in. And that all of our children's cultures and interests are fundamental to design. We believe you cannot teach your students if you do not know your students. So being able to really understand where they're coming from, what assets they're bringing to the classroom, and how we're making those connections with them as they uncover their interests in their learning. This is the high school one. She's in the wrong spot. There we go. So in the middle school experience, there's a draft. This one's not official yet. We're changing a little, still tweaking some of the wording. It should be ready soon, but I wanted you to see it because it really explains the guaranteed experiences as they're happening in the middle school. So if you look at 6th grade column, there's the Nonprofit Discovery Day. That is the one where the students as a 6th grade class vote on an area of nonprofit that's of interest to them. So it may be around animal care, environmental issues, health services, whatever it might be that's in the list. And as a group, they say, this is something that we want to learn more about. And then there are assigned and tagged with a nonprofit in order to go out and discover their mission and purpose. And then in 7th grade, they go back to that nonprofit and take action. So a good example of that is, say, in 6th grade, they go to the food bank, they learn about why the food bank exists, what's their purpose here, what need do they serve. And in 7th grade, they may go back and actually help put together bags of groceries and organize and sort or do food drives. And then they learn just how many families they got to serve by their act of service. So there's growth and sort of that understanding about why people do what they do and how you can take action to make those things happen. The Discovery Challenge and the Engagement Challenge. The 6th grade Discovery Challenge this year is partnered with the Akron Zoo again, where students will get to go out and learn from the Akron Zoo why they do what they do, why do they exist, and also help them solve a problem that they're having at the zoo around conservation. Students will get a chance to research and work together and come up with some solutions to pose to the zoo and get to be nominated to show off their grade level best in show, sort of, to the zoo and go there in person to see all the other schools' exhibits and how they came up with solutions to the problem. In the 7th grade challenge, they continue that sort of train of thought with the engagement challenge. This year will be with CVNP. We are field testing this piece this year because it's the first year, and before we go wall to wall with all the 7th graders, we want to make sure that it works as expected and get their feedback and the teachers' feedback on the live implementation and be ready to go live with all the 7th graders next year. But this one will be around how they can actually take action at the CVNP to create an environment or make a change in the environment for wildlife and the park system. All of this culminates in the 8th grade as a more small group or individual, what we're calling the Changemaker Challenge. So if you can see that these 4 things in 6th and 7th grade work together and in tandem as students sort of build their own voice and understand why you do something, why you would want to do something, how you could do something, and then start to think about what's important to me or maybe my group of friends that we as 8th graders could take action on. So that part is in design right now, and we'll have more details around how all that's going to sort of shake out as we get to that 8th grade experience more finalized. Our middle school academies, this is the Transcend data. We focused on 5 areas, high expectations being one of them. If you've seen any of the Transcend data, there's, 14 leaps, Dr. Caver? 14 leaps, something like that. So there were 5 that we thought really aligned themselves to this idea of building student agency and voice. And so that students experience this high expectations and access to opportunities matched well with the College and Career Academy mission, but also the student voice mission. So looking at this survey was administered to students in the fall, a spring of this past year, and then a fall again this year. And you can see this is just middle school students here, and we're trending in the right direction across all of the categories here, so that they're feeling more access to opportunities, they're feeling like they're expected to learn a ton, and that they're supported to do so. They're feeling they're growing in, they're not giving up. They feel like that people in school don't give up when things get hard. That's that grit and determination that we're looking for, and that they're growing in how likely is someone to help them. So we're all trending in the right direction. We know there's more work to do here, but we're happy to see that students are reporting more frequently that they felt confident to answer yes, that they were experiencing these in their schools. We also looked at relevance as number 2. Again, same sort of trends moving in the right direction, that they're getting to learn about things that they're interested in, that what they're learning matters to them. 51% of students are reporting that in the middle schools. And we're learning connected to life outside of the classroom. So those opportunities to continue to move students out of the classroom, they're seeing that and reacting to it, and starting to make those connections. A third one that we've been monitoring closely is how connected they feel to their community, and that they know and are respected by adults and their peers. This one has a lot of positive. It wasn't rated in the spring results, but you can see over 50% across the board of students are feeling part of the community. They're feeling belonging at school, and they're included by others. Again, growth to do here, but still trending in the right direction, which is what we want to see. And this is all what students are reacting to and how they're saying. And we're told to only give a yes to it if you really felt that it was true, right? Not just if you're halfway. If you weren't sure, give it a no. So we're happy to see these results coming in this direction. Customization. So are they feeling like things are tailored for them and their choices? And look at those results. They had strong results in the spring, but even stronger this fall. We're really happy that they're sort of seeing that they're making lots of connections to being able to catch up, that their teachers and their learnings are meeting them where they are at, and that they can find the resources in their school to support their learning. And then the final piece was active self-direction. So that they feel like they're drivers of their own learning, and kind of all over the place in this one, but that they do feel strongly that there's choice about how they can pursue their goals. They're trending in the right direction on adults who care about them, how the choice in their work, and that they have adults that respect their ideas and suggestions. Big jump on that one. I'm going to stop there for a second because that was a lot of elementary, middle school data. Did you have any questions about any of that? high expectations, relevance, community, customization, and active self-direction. Good.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
You finished, Ms. Dodson? Thank you. Yes, my question, in regards to the Discover, Explore, Change Maker, I know that I cut them down, but it was 6th, 7th, and 8th. In the 6th grade, they begin to discover. 7th grade, they explore. 8th grade, they do Change Maker. I'm just curious why this can't be done in all 3 steps, then monitor growth each year for deeper learning and analytical thinking for problem solving. Because it seemed like as a 6th grader, I could discover, explore, and seek change to really analyze within one academic year.
Right.
And it can be, if 6th grade is working with food, then the whole 6th grade class, whatever, in APS are going through first semester and maybe this cluster, second semester, like broken up for those days and so forth and so on. Yeah. I'm just saying for more, because it just seems like that type of time and that mindset of going through all concepts, that then by the time they're into 8th grade, you can really see analytical thinking. It becomes a part of who they are, because it's not just, okay, when I was in the 6th grade, I realized that the food bank, they collect food, because these kids are really multifaceted in their thinking. And when they get on these game systems, they play Fortnite. They learn very quickly on what's needed, how to get these bucks and purchase. So I'm just thinking, why is there a reason it's limited? Is it resources or anything that we would not just
limited in which way is what they do at the like experience? Yeah,
because why would I guess I shouldn't say limited, but why is it not maximized as a 6th grade? A 6th grader could do all 3 of these steps in a year.
Correct. I think it's a part of scaffolding it into. So this is the 6th grade is a whole class collective around what they're, especially with the nonprofit discovery as a whole, what did we say as a 6th grade class we were passionate about, and then being able to take action on the following year. I think it was meant to give them some growth mindset and chance to really explore and really make connections to some of those resources in the community. We're finding a lot of times the whole nonprofit service learning piece isn't something that a lot of them had a lot of experience with. So I don't think that they get limited so much or held back. Students certainly we'll have kids go full cycle on the Discovery Challenge and come up with all kinds of solutions and prototypes about what could be done. But those students who might be just starting out on that discovery still get a good experience of understanding what that discovery is and can build on it the following year, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It just seems that it could be done in one academic year. All 3 steps could be done in 1 year. Even if you're just newly getting entry, because it's about expectations, right? So the introduction happens whether they're used to service learning projects, but each thing builds on the next. So they get the introduction, they explore it, and then as you said, they problem solve. Some may be all the way at the end, because that's how their mind thinks. And some may not be so much. But then in the 7th grade, then it's another thing, and they're doing all whatever and they go through all 3 steps. Then by the 8th grade, because now we're talking about 3 years of consistent data with all 3 of these. And now by 8th grade, we can have a level of mastery to some degree with kids with analytical thinking, problem solving, because it's just the order of, it's not like we're just focusing on this one concept as 6th graders all year without delving deeper into, if it was broken to, I'm just curious.
And they do have multiple nonprofit discovery engagements. It's not just the one and done type of thing. They have, and I think that it is sort of the growth piece of it, but there are plenty of opportunities where kids are diving into all aspects of it and having time to practice together.
Okay, so maybe I'm missing, because, so maybe I misunderstand. I'm not asking my question correctly. You see how at 6th grade, and as it explains, it says Nonprofit Discovery Challenge, based off of what you said, they will go to somewhere like the food bank, find out what it is the food bank does, maybe why they do it. They'll find out the information.
Correct. Right, and they will find out. They might have some action that they're taking back at their school too to help the food bank. It's just at seventh
so
grade,
it
it's more
is- it does
purposeful.
overlap.
Correct. Yes. Yes.
That's all I'm asking.
Yeah.
Because that's when I was missed. That's all I was asking. Does
Right.
it?
It's-
Because
yeah.
why would it just be
but,
one?
the main purpose is to walk away that organizations are there for a purpose, right? We're filling a need in the community, and they may take action on it back at their building, but we really want them at sixth grade to walk away and know that there's nonprofits in service, and why do people bother to do this thing? And that's the major concept that they're walking away with in sixth grade.
Okay. And then my next question is, because I still have questions for that, but I'm gonna let that go, because if they could do, if it's something that's universal, it's a universal model. Because say I'm in APS sixth grade and I relocate, or I don't. And it's a whole steps. I'm just saying it could have been done within the school year. But my other question is the high expectations data, as far as how students felt. I think it's a couple slides, where it talks about how students felt about this, the various experiences, whether they were supported, whether they were encouraged. I'm just curious as to what tool did we use to retrieve this data?
Transcend data.
Okay, great. And so it was administered to all students?
All secondary students received it. This particular data just pulls out the middle school students.
Okay. And then we have, like, per building, like how many schools, the response rate, and what they said. Okay, because I would be interested on the C building specific.
Right,
Okay.
right. They even dove into, later on, they realized that some students who may have not been there to when the test was administered, or not the test, but the survey was administered, they actually did focus groups on some of the students who may have poor attendance, and sort of asking them the same questions and gathering what's going on with that group of students, because this group of students are students who may be at school every day, high attendance, and were able to participate in both surveys. So trying to make sure that they were looking at the different groups of students, too.
Oh, that's excellent. I would like to see that as well. Is that something you can email me?
Yes,
or?
yes.
Okay, yeah. So I want, like, building specific, and I would like to see the focus group for the kids who may have had low attendance or things
Yes.
like that, as far as how they felt. Thank you.
I'm going back to the nonprofit discovery, and I was just listening to the conversation, and in the conversation, when we say they're the discovery projects, is there more than just one, or is there one, like you mentioned, they're going to the food bank, so they all go to the food bank, they all go see what's going on there, they may go back to their schools, may do some things, but is there another project as well, so maybe they go to the food bank, or maybe they go to, like, the Haven Arrest, or they go somewhere like that?
They may go to similar ones that they shared an interest in. So we try to get 2 to 3 for every area of interest that the students have identified. We have over 80, might be at 85 right now, with our middle school nonprofit partners that are working across our middle school 6th and 7th graders.
Okay, yeah, and that's the reason I was asking. I was listening to what Mrs. Jackson was saying, 1 year, and I was thinking, okay, that does sound like they could probably get it in 1 year, but if you have several of these going, and they're getting 1, and there's 2, and there's 3, and there's 4, and there's 5, that could take a little longer period of time. That's wanted to make sure we clarify. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else? Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. And then finally, in the middle school, we've also expanded our out-of-school time programming for them as well, with youth development and enrichment. So we were able, right now, as of today, there's 38 different middle school programming going on that students can opt to attend. Things like esports and Spanish club, baking, creative writing, dance, chess. We got them doing cooking clubs and sewing clubs. And kids have really sort of driven the things that they've been interested in here, and have asked their school to start different types of clubs, or a teacher is like, hey, I can teach these kids to knit, and they come and they have knitting chats and all kinds of just neat ways to engage them beyond the school day, with a caring adult that's there. But yeah, that's expanded a lot, and we're trying to get it up to 50 this semester, so that we have that's our goal, is to add 12 more. Almost all of those 38 programming that started first semester have returned for second semester to keep working with the students. So every school has after-school clubs happening. And again, they have summer experiences coming. We're working on a 6th grade bridge program to assist our elementary transition to middle school in a camp environment that really starts to build that collaboration, help them make friends in the summer that are going to be at their middle school, get to know each other a little bit, some, team building, and again, that interest building and building their agency and voice there too. So heading into middle schools, we just finished the 9th Way pathway selection at this time of the year. 31st, students just submitted all their forms for what they want to enter into, which pathway for 10th grade. That we've added our new partners for North and East. North with the Signet Jewelers and East with Stark State as a sister university. And those things have led to, will lead to lots of opportunity for expanding student voice in that arena as well. And there's our new partners. We can now officially say, I feel like we had to be hush-hush for so long. It's like, can I just say it? But there they are. We're glad they're officially part of the pathway naming. And both organizations are so excited to be working with the students and have, even though they weren't officially named partners, they were already generating tons of ideas about what they wanted to do at East and North. We have active conversations happening for Bookdale and Firestone sister universities between two different locations, and just making sure we've honored all prior conversations. I think we talked about this a little bit last time. We didn't want to go into names of them, but there was some change in leadership and just making sure that we haven't eliminated anyone just because of those sorts of changes. But meetings and conversations are going on right now to be able to name sister universities for our last 2 remaining locations with Firestone and Bookdale. The good news is we have strong universities wanting to work with both of them, so we're very excited. I'm hopeful by April that we'll have a final decision from both of them. So there's meetings going on end of this month and in March, and then if they both work out the way I expect it's going to work, we should be able to start planning for an announcement this spring. I'm not sure that we'd have a partner announcement in April because that takes a little time to plan those events, but that would definitely be coming this spring. We are busy. We've also expanded. So this is, we haven't traditionally had a lot of after-school clubs in our high schools, just like our middle schools where we were able to add 38. A lot of times those were funded just based on independent funding. If a teacher could find money, if they got some grant dollars. We've really leveraged our ESSER dollars towards this out-of-school expansion to provide these enrichment opportunities as deeply as we can and as frequently as we can. And our high schools have really risen to all kinds of opportunities for them. We have 54, and that should say high school programming, but it is 54 high school programs running across the schools. So that diversity, Black Student Union, running clubs, there's climbing clubs or step clubs, leadership cabinets. It goes on and on and on with all kinds of ideas. A lot of them student-driven with an adult facilitator working with them as they meet for their clubs. They might be 1 day a week, 3 days a week. What we found in our middle school programming that I should have mentioned, we launched our esports club in our schools, and was initially going Monday through Thursday. The kids are now showing up on Friday nights and staying on late on a Friday to stay for that club. So it's kind of interesting because that was always like kids would never stay on a Friday, right? So super interesting that they said, no, we'll stay for this one on a Friday. And so you were seeing those, high value clubs where kids are wanting to do more. So it's pretty neat to see those wealth of experiences happening, but you can imagine all the great experiences that they're having with their friends and just learning something new and a thing that you don't maybe get to learn during the school day or any other opportunities. And again, we're coming back with our summer experiences for them. They'll have opportunities to catch up on any credits, advanced credits, finish any high school needs that they may have, continue some of those clubs in the summer. And we're looking for a very robust summer work-based learning experience for our students. So be on the watch for that. We'll be bringing some things to you around how we're increasing and escalating and elevating the opportunities for kids to participate in paid work-based learning experiences this summer and through the school year. So that'll be our upperclassmen, our juniors and seniors. So all those summer experiences out of school time pieces, you can kind of see that all through elementary, middle, high school, and we kind of get to culminate now in their 11th and 12th grade year with a paid out-of-school time experience. So it just kind of should go year-round and through the summer. Question about that?
Yes. How many kids do we maybe anticipating for the work experience?
Our goal is 500 students by 2025. So that would be serviced year-round. So and it could be at any given time 500 students. So some kids will graduate, or some students will have done a work-based learning experience, and the next group comes in. But we should be servicing 500 students at any given time. That's our goal. And I think with the system and structure that's coming together, that we'll be able to give you more details and plans on that. We've got a good plan in place to make that happen.
Okay, great.
And finally, I just wanted to, highlight our Bookdale High School here. Deanna Caldwell-Edwards over at Bookdale, the Academy coach, always does such a neat job and shares all of these great pictures and resources that she does with the students. All of our Academy coaches truly do, but this one just came through, so I thought it was neat to spotlight today. And she had our My Future Pathways. It was a 2-part. In December, they did mock interviews, and you can see the students in the gymnasium with their business partners who have come in to do mock interviews with the students and sort of this round robin opportunity. And then they continued it up with a career fair. But I particularly liked the quote at the bottom from one of the students. And she said she's so proud of herself, and I was so nervous to talk in front of all those professionals for my interview, but they said I did great, and I had a good feedback on my rubric. I guess they couldn't see how scared I was. So great experience overcoming those nerves. Interviews can be nerve-wracking for any of us at any age, right? So get a chance to practice those things and get some feedback. So I just wanted to share that last little spotlight and her voice and where she was at. And that's the end of my updates from College and Career Academies. Are there any other questions I can answer?
Just for clarity, it was 54. That was not for middle school. It was for high school.
That was high school, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to be sure.
It was high school.
And then my other question, 54 high school clubs. Do we have a roster as far as enrollment, where we have an idea of the general enrollment and attendance for the clubs, and then per school, which clubs are in person? I know we have something like that. Which
Exactly.
clubs are in person?
We have all of those attendance spreadsheets. But the way that we're doing it right now is the program facilitators or whoever is the lead has a huge spreadsheet with the kids on it, and they take attendance on it, and we keep track. I'm taking all of those right now and putting all 100-something programs into one huge spreadsheet so we can see the counts about where kids are at and how many hours of time they're putting in. When you talk with sort of the research on out-of-school time work, you want to see how many hours of time students are putting in, because then you can start to see if you're having an impact when you have more hours of engagement, more engagement, less greater achievement, less greater attendance,
Right.
greater engagement and less behavior issues in their classrooms. Or reports of. So we really want to be able to get to that level of detail with what we're doing with our out-of-school time work and our summer work and so on. We actually are looking to, it should be coming to the next board meeting. It's called School Joy, which is a way that we'll be able to promote our year-round programming publicly to our parents, and so they would be able to go on and see that there's a chess club at Jennings, and I want my kid to be a part of that, and they could sign them up online, and the program facilitator would say, hey, Tamia wants to be part of the chess club, and can get them started. Okay. So a way to promote and share those things. But what's also great about it is that on any given day, we'd be able to look to see who's in all the different clubs and activities. We don't have a good way to look at that now and be able to track sort of they've completed it, they've been awarded the activity in their records, and make that more cohesive across all those experiences, out of school time, summer, anything before school, after school, clubs and activities kids are participating in, and kind of see those trends, like what are those things that were really sticky, like the robotics and esports clubs that really took off and grew in attendance versus those that maybe declined a lot over time, and what we could do to either promote or keep that, but where are we seeing really high interest subject area for the kids.
And where their interests shift, and it can give us good demographic information as far as interest. You answered all my other two questions.
Okay.
those are like all my questions.
We're excited about the summer programming and the structure that's coming out to be able to really advertise what we have, but also have a finer grained look at where kids are at and how well they are engaged in those
and really
resources.
Advertising and seeing why, if attendance is low, why it is low, when we know that students need things to do that are positive outside the school hours. So thank you so much, Marcy.
Thank you. You're welcome.
With the work experience, where are the dollars coming from to help these kids get paid for their work experience? Some of the investment dollars that you all put in towards the Akron citywide network a few meetings ago, it was part of the investment to the greater sort of out-of-school time network that Dr. McWilliams is helping to lead the charge on, who is now singularly focused. And if you know Ellen McWilliams at all, I'm going to give you, and she can do multiple things, but when she has one focus, oh my goodness, she is flying with lots of opportunities and resources between the city and other partners around the city who have just rallied behind how are we going to support students in pre-K through 12 network of opportunities for students of Akron City. A major focus being our kids, because we have a lot of the kids, right? But they're working on that design phase now, and we're working with JOG from Jobs and Family Services as their network. Some of our dollars that we put towards summer youth employment last year out of ESSER, we're going to repurpose this year, but they're also coming with some grant dollars that JOG has received, and the city is investing in towards this to get us up and running and build the systems and structures towards that. Our next phase will be working with the city partners around the sustainability of making sure students can be paid through these job experiences. So we'll have the funding, I think, to get us started through the next 2 years and make sure students are paid as we grow all the programming, and by the time we're at those 500 kids, what's our ongoing plan to sustain it? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Marcy.
I sure can.
Absolutely. So yeah, we'll
Once
make
I
sure
fix
you guys get the notes from today, and a PowerPoint will be attached as well. Okay? So.
And the Transcend data.
Yes, so a lot going on. So we always know that the College and Career Academies is very busy, of course. But then Marcy this year is definitely taking on a lot of that out-of-school time, that focus as well. So yes, we have a lot going on. So I thought it was a good time to just give an update as we get ready for even for our summer experiences and starting to look at that programming. And things will start to come your way for approval. So just wanted to give you an update. So, and thank you for some really great questions. And so we are going to end the meeting with the updates that we have here. As always, they're already attached, so we don't read them. We just look at them briefly, but you can always go back and look at each one. Again, there's one on CCAA, and Marcy, it is more information than what she just shared with you. So, but we did have some scholars go to New York with DECA recently, so you have a nice picture there. And then to be able to see in a video summary you could look at. And then we have another scholar from Firestone. Is it Elena or Alana? I'm not sure. Maybe Alana Tennant there. She earned a double superior rating in the playwriting thespian category. So some great things going on there. And then there's a video featuring Hire. And then at the very bottom, she also goes over just the essential experiences that she just presented or talked about. You can see how many scholars have attended and where they have been going. So that is just one of the CCAA update. I want to give you a FRC update for the Family Resource Center. And this is just a reminder that we have 4 FRCs, and we wanted you to know that they are all up and running. And we are also LTOP is currently working on identifying the next location for the FRC. So we hope to have that solidified by March. So we would like to open 2 more, actually, at this time. So look for more information and details to come. And then also there's some programming happening at our FRCs in the month of February. So we just highlighted some of the things that are going on, the tax assistance program for sure that we have for families, and then some family engagement activities. And there's a flyer for Black History Month Expo that will have all type of face painting and food and fun happening over at Robinson on February 25th, as well as these other activities that are happening at Helen Arnold North as well. So please take a look. Stay in the game update, just in terms of we do have some, we're still a partner with the Cleveland Browns with the Stay in the Game. There has been some student recognition, which will be, if you click on there, you would see some of that from January and February. And then the other exciting thing is that there's some two-way communication discussion boards that are happening right now. I believe where we're trying to decide, or the Browns as well as Stancy and the department are looking at what is working. It's like an evaluation time, right? What is working? What should we continue? What are some other options? So that is in the Stay in the Game update. And then last but not least is the teaching and learning update that, again, was about the STEM Expo that some of you may have attended this last weekend on January 28th. So it was the first time we've had one in person, I believe, in about 2 years. And there are lots of activities going on, some really neat things that were happening. So we have a collaboration of pictures here for you all to explore. And you probably also see some of that in your board update as well. All right. So that is all that we have for today. Any more questions from you all for us? Yes. So we do have an African American Studies course. We also have been exploring AP African American Studies as well. She's shaking her head. So we do have that course available.
And who's it offered to currently?
So I would have to get back to you specifically about the schedule in terms of which buildings exactly. But any course that we have, generally, unless it's a pilot, we can offer it as a district in any one of our schools. It's all about how many scholars are interested in taking the course and the staffing available in order to teach it.
And do we have a violence prevention course?
I would have to look into that. I'm not sure exactly specifically what they may be talking about, but
If it's incorporated into any of the other things, the restorative practices or anything like that,
Right.
I don't know, but if that's something you can.
Yeah, because we definitely have been working on the restorative practices, and then we're also working even at the elementary level with our rooms that we're trying to develop. And we have the climate coaches that have really, really worked on, especially this year as we're rolling it out, working with Nicole Hassan from Wanda's department, Student and Family Services Department, about climate and culture through our social emotional learning activities and things like that. And we're trying to train those climate coaches and everybody in restorative practices and kind of starting to try to do some proactive measures, especially at the elementary level, to build up the culture and climate too. So that's why I said I would have to get back to you, because I wasn't exactly sure what you meant by violence prevention specifically, but I do know we do have some restorative practices too, but I can get you that information directly. Mm-hmm. All right. Anything else? All right. Well, I thank you all for our first meeting of the year. Everyone have a great evening.
Thank you. Good meeting.